My fellow Biafrans, how are you doing today? Fellow Biafrans, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. Fellow Biafrans, we've seen what is happening all across the world. In the land of Biafra, the whole last 2 weeks has been nothing but bloody. We've seen the pillaging in Enugu State, in Ebonyi, Anambra, you name it, the old states of Biafra. But today, I wish to bring to you good news to let you know that Trump is coming. Donald Trump is coming. He has spoken on the issues happening in Israel and Palestine, and I want you to hear what he said about Gaza. That problem always emanates from Gaza. The bloodsheds, the plans to destroy Israel always comes from Gaza. So today he's saying that America will take control of Gaza, and the people living in Gaza will be relocated somewhere else where they'll be happy. That's how you know a man who is coming to make peace. So to my brothers from Israel, to my people of the light, our distant relatives from Israel, we say rejoice because your freedom, your liberation has come. Peace will be upon the land of Israel. And also to the people of Biafra, ours will be next. Trump is coming next to solve the problem in Biafra land. Mark my word. He's coming. So at this point, I want us to hear what Trump is saying in regards Israel and Gaza and Palestine and the rest of them. And also you will hear the warning given by our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Rabuize. And afterwards, we shall discuss Ebonyi State, the time, and what must be done. If you're ready, let's take it from the great words of Trump, Donald Trump, the President of America, when it comes to Israel. Listen, and I'll come back.
President Donald Trump has suggested that displaced Palestinians in Gaza should be permanently resettled outside the war-torn region.
I think that Gaza maybe is a demolition site right now. If you look at Gaza, there's hardly a building standing, and the ones that are going to collapse. You can't live in Gaza right now, and I think we need another location. I think it should be a location that's going to make people happy.
Trump's comments came as he welcomed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for talks at the White House, the first foreign leader to visit the US president in his second term. Their meeting comes amid discussions of a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and a temporary truce deal for Gaza's reconstruction, something that Trump and his advisors have claimed is not viable. But Egypt and Jordan, as well as other Arab nations, have rejected calls by Trump to relocate the territory's 2.3 million Palestinians. And although hardline right-wing members of Netanyahu's government have embraced Trump's comments, the Israeli Prime Minister is also facing pressure to end the temporary truce and continue with the war. Meanwhile, protesters and families of Israeli hostages in Gaza marched to the US Embassy in Tel Aviv on Tuesday, calling on President Trump to reach an agreement to release all the remaining hostages.
Let's take it back.
President Donald Trump
Listen, my people. What you just heard there was a nutshell of what is going on. There will be peace in Gaza. For those who are out there in the zoo supporting Palestine over Israel, because they hate us, they hate we the Biafrans, they know we and Israel, we are one. So somehow, if they hate the Biafrans, they will automatically have hatred for Israel. But we know, because we are children of the rising sun, we know that the right way to go is that place that is causing the problem. That area, the location causing the problem between those two countries. It is best to take control of that area. which is what the number one country of the world is doing today, America. And the 2.3 million Palestinians living in Gaza will be relocated to a place that they love. That's the only reason why there will be peace in that location. Because don't tell me that you guys don't understand the plans of Palestine. Their plan is to take over Israel. All the Arab countries around Israel. Their plan is to wipe Israel out of the map. They were the first called dot in a circle. In case you guys don't know, Israel was the first country called a dot in a circle. And they said they will wipe them off the face of the earth. So what Donald Trump is doing, I support him, I re-echo his sentiments. And we are saying to create peace, America must step in as the big brother of the world and take hold of that area called Gaza. Same way in Biafra land. Enough is enough. We have cried out. We have fought. When we fight to defend, the Nigerian government will take the money they've stolen from the oil from Biafra land to bribe a few of us to write a petition against us. Today, Nnamdi Kanu, who told you they were coming, that the Fulani headsmen were coming, he told you they were coming. But today, Nnamdi Kanu is in the custody of the Nigerian dungeon in DSS. Simon Ekpa, his protege, his most beloved disciple, took onto the mantleship of leadership, working towards the blueprint of Nnamdi Kanu to secure the lives and properties of the people of Biafra. Today, the same Nigerian government, they took money to bribe those around him. They even went an extra mile. They came with a caveat. They said he was working for Tinubu in a way to create enmity, anger on the people of Biafra. But unfortunately, the so-called politicians from the southeast, they colluded, they came together, and they blackmailed Simon Ekpa in Finland. Today, Simon Ekpa is still answering questions and is being held somewhere by Finland. Finland, who claim to be a just and fair country. So before you know what's happening, killing is happening in the land of Biafra. People are being killed. The headsmen, they have come. Those that they warned us were coming, they have come. They have come. And the only thing we can do is to defend ourselves. We must defend ourselves. My people, we must defend ourselves. Respect to our brother QTV, he's doing a good job. I appreciate the fact he was able to capture the speech from our Deputy Prime Minister last night, Her Excellency Dr. Ngozi Orabweze. And she mentioned defending ourselves. The same way Israel was able to defend herself against all the Arab nations around, trying to wipe them off the earth. That same way with the Biafrans, we must defend ourselves. We are ready to defend ourselves, and by God's grace, we shall do it diligently. I want us to listen to the keynotes from our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabweze, when it comes to we the Biafrans defending ourselves. We must defend ourselves. Listen.
We are Biafrans. We are very, very resilient. You cannot kill us or come and kill us and get away with it. We must arm every single citizen of the United States of Biafra that is 18 years and above. Anywhere they are, anywhere you go, and somebody comes there to kill you, kill the person first. It is called self-defense. Honorable Chair, go ahead and put up that deal on the board. Dear friends, all you need to do, just click on that and put in your name. Vote yes or no. We have 7 to 8 minutes to do this. Thank you so much, everyone. Biafrans, based on the number of yes votes for this particular bill for self-defense for Biafrans, and based on the number of the people that have voted today, we hereby today, February 4, 2025, pass this bill into law in the United States of Biafra to allow Biafrans to be able to self-defend themselves from these killers, from the reintegrated terrorists from Nigeria that are coming to kill us by the day. Again, self-defense being necessary to the security of liberty and a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms for the purpose of defending themselves and the state. This right shall not be infringed upon. Today, Biafrans have voted by the majority to do everything within their power for self-defense. Thank you so much. Biafra, this bill has become law today.
Thank you so much, our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. As you have heard, we've now passed a bill to self-defend ourselves. It's all about self-defense. To the President of America, we the Biafrans, we have come again, we have spoken under one voice, under one accord. The government of Biafra, we have passed a bill to defend ourselves from the enemies, the Islamic enemies, the jihadists, the terrorists coming to the land of Biafra to kill us. We are tired of dying. We are saying, just like Israel, enough is enough. Today we are calling on the President of America, Donald John Trump. Mr. President, the same way you've stepped into the situation of our brothers in Israel, the same way we are calling upon you to hurry to our aid. The enemies have come, the Islamists, they have come. Those that promised jihad, those that said they would take over Nigeria, over West Africa, those that said they will plant the seed of Islam all across West Africa. Those that are coming with terrorism to take over the land of Biafra. Those that swore an oath to dip the Quran in the Red Sea. Their first mission is to wipe away all the Christians in Africa. And from there, they will focus their attention in Europe. After Europe, they will join with their Arabic brothers already messing up Europe, turning Europe into Islam. And before you know it, once they come with the formation, they will focus their attention, their arsenal on America. President Donald J. Trump, we are calling upon you to hurry to our aid. We shall keep on fighting. All we need is the backing and support to let the whole world know we have the right to defend ourselves. That's all we are asking for. Let the whole world know that the Biafrans have the right to defend ourselves, because whenever we try to do this, Nigeria, because they have so much of money from oil, they bribe every Tom, Dick, and Harry around us. That's the problem we find ourselves. That's the quagmire, the conundrum we find ourselves. That all the politicians, all the governors from Biafra land have been bought over. In fact, they were made governors by the Fulani cabal of Nigeria. Hence, they can only serve one master, the Fulani oligarch. Our situation is so peculiar because the people don't have integrity. The people in politics, they don't have integrity. They have sold their soul to the Islamic Caliphate. This is the problem we have in Biafra land. All the so-called politicians from the Biafra land working with Nigeria, they have sold their integrity. Hence, it is left upon us. It is left for us to defend ourselves. President Trump, I want to show you what is happening in Biafra land. to the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb. You are still holding Simon Ekpa to no avail. I want to show you what is happening in Biafra land in the absence of Simon Ekpa. Watch this. To President Trump and to the president of Finland, I know why I'm calling the president of Finland. I know why I am calling on the president of Finland as well. Because he's been lied to. He's been hoodwinked by Nigerian government. And somehow he's holding a black Finnish citizen for a third world country. Very, very strange that in Europe, a European country and a government will go by the words of a third world country, an underdeveloped country, and somehow keep a citizen of Finland in custody because of the lies being told by a third world country. It's a bit strange. Normally, it is vice versa, the other way around. But today, I'm wondering the business, the contract agreement, the MOU, the mutual agreement they have with Nigeria that will make Finland to stoop this low. Even Britain could not try it when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu. They couldn't attempt holding Nnamdi Kanu somewhere. They couldn't do it. All they did was to chase him away to make him know that the block was hot, that there was tension. All they did was every day they were putting out their MI5 in a private unmarked car in the front house of Nnamdi Kanu. Every day there was a parked car there as a psychology to make you feel that things are getting tough. So he found his way to Kenya, not knowing it was a way to smoke him out, because what they did could not be done in Britain. So they had to smoke him out. But in this case, Finland is skipping to the loo of the Nigerian government. It's a bit strange that Finland, that is known as the number one country when it comes to rule of law, when it comes to freedom of speech and the rest of them, your fundamental human right is protected at all time in countries like Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. In fact, there is this competition between Finland and Sweden, year in, year out. If the number one is not Finland, it is Sweden. If number one is Sweden, number two is Finland. But somehow, Finland has allowed Nigeria, is to show you how fantastically corrupt Nigeria is. When Lord David Cameron described Nigeria as being fantastically corrupt, now you understand it, because they will go to any length. Even the so-called president of Nigeria right now, he said, something that money cannot solve, more money will solve it. His slogan is, something that money cannot solve, more money will solve it. So to the president of America, and also to the president of Finland, I want you to see what is happening in the land of Biafra as we speak. In the state known as Ebonyi State, there is a community called Nkalaha community. The Islamic jihadist headsmen and their terrorists, they went to the community and they took the life of over 30 people. Over 30 were killed, but the Zoom media, they lied that it was 16 that were killed. But somehow, because the governor of that state, Ebonyi State, was made governor by the Islamic Caliphate of Nigeria, he has come out and told his people not to revenge the headsmen killing and the burning of the houses. He said, do nothing about it. Pray to God and beg God to save you and your family. Leave it up to God. Leave it to Jesus. Do nothing about it. This is the same gospel we are getting from the so-called politicians of the eastern region. That the Islamic terrorists are coming to your land to kill your people. The response from the governor, the chief protector of the land, of the state, is saying, do nothing about it, say nothing about it, pretend it didn't happen. All you have to do is pray to God and pray to Jesus to protect you next time. Do nothing about it. Why is he saying that? Because he is in bed with the caliphate. Those that made him governor are from the caliphate. Hence, his mouth is shut. His tails have been tucked under its legs because he can do nothing or say anything to the caliphate. This is the problem we have in the land of Biafra. The same way Israel and Palestine, Gaza was the problem. The Gaza Strip was a problem. The same situation. The governors, the so-called governors of the eastern region have been the problem. Because they've been bought over by that so-called Nigeria. And the picture you are seeing here are gory pictures of men, women killed, homes destroyed. Let's continue. Watch this. Very, very sad. Watch this. Here again, what you see here, the community members running away, fleeing from their community. The residents are fleeing from their community. As the death toll from the herdsmen attack rises to 16. We know they killed more than 16, but the media, they're very, very smart. Even at this point, the so-called Nigerian military, they came and they were seizing the phones of people who were videoing the lifeless bodies on the ground and the burning buildings. They told them nobody must take pictures of what happened in that community. Let that sink into the whole world. Finland, you are holding Simon Ekpa. I say you are responsible for what is happening in the land of Biafra. Because since you started holding our premises somewhere, you've given the Islamic country and their men, their Islamic soldiers, their terrorists, you're giving them the green light to come and do this in the land of Biafra. Now they are coming with confidence. There is no one to stop them anymore. And now the people are fleeing from their homes, from their communities. Guess who will now come in the night to occupy those communities? The jihadists, the Fulani headsmen, their distant relatives from the Sahel region. They come into the land, escorted by the military, and they occupy those abandoned communities. This is the problem we have in Biafra land. Just like Gaza Strip, we want America to step in and protect the boundaries of Biafra. We are done with Nigeria. We are not one with Nigeria. We ain't one. We are done with them. America, Donald J. Trump, the president, hurry to the aids of the Biafrans. Hurry to our aid. Hurry to our aid. Finland has let us down. Finland has let us down. But we believe in America. America, God's own country. We are Christians. We the Biafrans, we are Christians. Do not allow the Muslims to overtake us. Do not allow the hardcore Islamists, the jihadists from West Africa to overtake us. We are children of God. We believe in Jesus. We are children of the light. We believe in our traditional way of doing things. This is why they are angry with us. To Donald J. Trump, when you became the first time president or the 45th president, Biafrans were thanking their Jesus for you, were celebrating, but somehow the Islamic country were angry. The Nigerian government was angry and they sent their military to come and kill us. Yet again, you are now the 47th president. And again, we the Biafrans, we are, jubilating, we are happy, we are excited for you. And once again, the Islamic country of Nigeria has sent their military to the land of Biafra to take the lives of people. Simply because we are happy for Donald Trump being the president of America. What crime have we committed to have a choice, to have a say, to have a freedom to speak on what we believe in? What's the crime to believe in Donald J. Trump? What's the crime? But in Nigeria, elephants can fly. If they see that you are in support of Donald Trump, you are a dead man walking in Nigeria. Let's continue. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. Again, from the report of Sahara Reporters, it says, we alerted Ebonyi governor 4 days before the attack that headsmen were coming to attack, says the Ohaneze Youth Council. What they are saying here is the Ohaneze Youth Council, the youths from that community, they alerted the governor of that state, Ebonyi State, that the Fulani jihadists, Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, the headsmen, they were coming to attack that community because they found something in that community. There is a resource in that community. They told them the Islamic were coming. The jihadists were coming to attack, but the governor did nothing about it. Perhaps, trying to be fair, perhaps he called on the Nigerian military to come and protect the community, but they didn't come because they were the ones that sent the headsmen to come and take over the community. So that's the problem that these so-called politicians they have, because they have sold their soul. They were informed 4 days before the attack and they did nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. They were told the Islamists were coming to take over a community, a Christian community. And they did nothing about it. The governor of the state did nothing about it. Let that sink in. To Finland, let that sink in. They lied to you that Simon Ekpa was a killer of his people. But today, in the absence of Simon Ekpa, the real killers of Biafra, they are now showing their face with confidence. They now move around with confidence. They ain't scared no more because there is no one else to push them away. The governors cannot do it because the governors have sold themselves very cheap to the Islamic Caliphate, the rulers of Nigeria. Those that Britain told they were born to rule, the Islamic Caliphate. This is the problem, the conundrum we find ourselves in that zoo called Nigeria. So the governor was told 4 days ahead, 4 days in advance, and he did absolutely nothing because he's helpless. All he wants to do is to be governor, to make money for himself, his children, and become a billionaire and steal and loot the money and then run away and put somebody else to continue, as a stooge to the caliphate. Let's continue. Watch this. Very, very sad. Look at this again. Now in Enugu State, it is happening in Enugu State. Residents of Enugu community currently fleeing homes over herdsmen killings in neighboring Ebonyi villages. I repeat, the residents of Enugu community currently they are fleeing their homes over herdsmen killings in neighboring Ebonyi villages. To the President of America, what they are saying is that residents from a different state, they are already running away because they've seen how communities from the other states of Biafra land were destroyed, pillaged, and nothing happened. Only a fool, only a deaf, dumb, and blind person will remain when the drum of war is beaten. So the Boko Haram that they call headsmen, because in Nigeria, you cannot call them terrorists. The media has been barred or banned to call them terrorists. You only call them headsmen. So if it's Boko Haram, you call them headsmen. If it's ISIS, you call them headsmen. If they are ISWAP, you call them headsmen. That's the new one now happening in Nigeria in order to hide the news, the reality of the situation from the Western world. This is the game they play. So in this case now, the terrorists, the Islamic terrorists, they are now coming towards Enugu State. And the people have to run away. That's how they take over a community. That is how suddenly Islam will have more, presence in Biafra land. Something that has never happened for over 1 million years. We have stood firm and strong, and Islam has never been able to conquer the Biafra land. But through these tactics of fear, people are fleeing away. Once they flee, the Nigerian military will now carry the Islamic jihadists into those communities and resettle them. This is the game they play. This was something Simon Ekpa was stopping. The Prime Minister of Biafra was stopping this nonsense from happening all this while. But somehow Finland allowed Nigeria. Finland, you allowed Nigeria to hoodwink you. Your hands are tainted now. Your hands are filled with blood, with all due respect. Your hands are tainted. I put the blame on Finland on this one. Because when Simon Ekpa was here, the Nigerian government didn't have the balls to do what they were doing. The terrorists that the whole world is scared of, they didn't have the balls to come to Biafra land. But Finland, you are responsible. One day I will go deeper in the history of Finland. To the Biafrans, one day I will go deeper and tell you about the Vikings. Those they call the Vikings. I will tell you a story because they hail from Scandinavian, from Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, you name it. They hail from those areas, from Greenland. I will tell you a history about the Vikings because something strange happened. There was a battle they went for and majority of them died. And there was a mass grave of the Vikings. But suddenly, after a few years, a couple of years ago, the grave was dug and we could see their military gear, the ornaments on their military gear and their attire. Their swords were there. The shield of the Vikings, the helmet. But something strange, there was an emblem in all the uniforms of the Vikings. An inscription of Allah was written on the crest of the Vikings. An inscription of the word Allah. Think about that. It's like today's military now having a badge that they wrote Allah on it. So that tells you that when you trail back, perhaps these guys we are going to telling them, please, they are coming to Islamize us. So perhaps their original religion was Islam. Because I was blown away. Even the researchers, they were blown away. That how can the Vikings, known for being great soldiers, how come that there was a mass grave of them? And on their military gear, on the armor they were wearing, there is an emblem of Allah on all of their uniforms. A brooch written Allah on it. The researchers, they kept on pondering and wondering, what the hell was that? So perhaps those we are running to, crying and begging them, please, they are coming to Islamize us. Perhaps their original religion was Islam. We have to be careful. That's why we can only look towards America, God's own country. In God we trust. That is the only country that can give us freedom, that can guarantee the Christians of Biafra freedom. Be careful when you're looking at these European countries, because when you go deeper into their history, these people know who they are. They know their history. Finland knows their history. They know their religion 10,000 years ago. They know where they came from. They know the empires they came from, the lineage. But I will leave that for another day. Because I took my time, I was doing a research on Finland. And I fell into this, findings. I was taken aback that such a thing could be found in the graveyard, in the gravesite of the Vikings. Let's continue. Finally, my people, what you are seeing here is the governor of Ebonyi State. At the time all the killings were happening in that community, at the time when people were fleeing from their communities, at a time when the state was bleeding red, there was blood on the streets in Ebonyi State. The same governor is spending 8.3 billion naira on official vehicles. They love their toys, don't they? They love their cars. They are in politics to buy cars. Let that marinate in your mind. According to Sarah report, they said, amid rising killings in Ebonyi State, the government splashed 8.3 billion on purchase of official vehicles. They're on a jamboree. There is competition among the governors. Who's got the latest Lexus Jeep? The latest SUV? Oh, yours was made in January 2023. Mine was made in October 2023. Because of that, they will laugh and drink wine, and the next thing, the governor will go back and go and buy the latest from the factory of Japan that is saying February 2025. This is how these idiots, they waste the resources. They are like children crying about toys. To them, driving car is everything. That shows you how myopic, how poverty has destroyed these criminals. That at a time like this, they still have that fetish attitude, or they have that love for vehicles. Think about that. Here in the Western world, we see the vehicle as a means of to transport yourself from point A to point B. It is nothing to us anymore, but I understand in Africa, vehicle is still something special. And these governors, they're always doing this. I have a friend who told me that the other time the governors, they went for like a jubilee or something. And while they were going home, they were competing in terms of the month of age of their various cars. One was boasting that his own is coming straight from the factory, and there is an extra feature in his, but the other one's own is like 6 months old. You tell me, is a 6 months old car old? Is it out? I mean, for your car to be 6 months old, does that mean it is out? I mean, I don't get this. I was shocked hearing how they were laughing the other governor that his own cars were 6 months old. Think about that. They said they are the big boys. They drive straight from the factory. That his own car was old. He should keep his mouth shut. His own cars, they are old. They are 6 months old. That's why these guys go around buying cars. Every year they are changing the fleet of cars they have. In a time where the country, the state is mourning. All across the land of Biafra, people are mourning. They are grieving for the lives of their loved ones lost. The governor is busy going online, searching for the newest toy to buy. a brand new toy straight from the factory that no other governor has in Biafra land. This is the thinking of those you call your politicians. Very, very sad. I will end it here. Let this marinate in your mind. Those that you claim are working for your freedom, they are busy spending billions on toys, brand new toys. When the car is 1 year old, to them it's an old car. If your car is 2 years old, oh my God, you'll be the laughing stock. These are the idiots you expect to liberate the people of Biafra. To Finland, you have to do what is right. Let's go, Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa has no case to answer. And to the President of America, we call upon you to please hurry to our aid. The same way you are helping our distant relatives, Israel, to solve that problem in the Gaza Strip. The same way we, the people of Biafra, we are calling upon you. We have declared our nation on the 29th of November 2024. Biafra was redeclared. We now have a country, we have a nation, but the problem is the occupying forces from the Nigerian, the terrorists coming to the land of Biafra to Islamize us and to take over our land. We call on America to hurry to our aid. Thank you, and may God bless. Thank you.
Must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High Himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake, Biafra will come. Because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. Our enemies are equally important because they must listen. Those who do not love the truth must listen. Those who are beholden to darkness, they must also listen. For we are here to bring light upon a very darkened continent without Biafra. Africa is nothing without Biafra. There is no difference between a black man and a wild animal in the forest. We say every shred with every ounce of conviction. I welcome each and every one of you. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is Radio Biafra. This is how we do it. We magnify the name of the Most High before we do anything. That is why we are exceptionally formidable. That is why